Okay, so it seems like recently there's been a little bit of an update with the whole Onigiri situation, which again, obviously, we covered the other day. A lot of people were very, very worried, and there was one big reason as to why so many people were worried about her. It was because of an incident that went down over on her Twitch channel. Obviously, if you guys didn't see, there was this thing that happened during her cooking stream. She does a lot of cooking streams and whatnot. I don't think she has she gone live since then. I don't think she has. No, she hasn't. Again, there's this cooking stream where essentially she was chopping up some stuff and then she accidentally caught her finger. Right now, again, there was this message that came out because she was supposed to be doing a collaboration with Vedal and Neuro Sama and all of that kind of stuff, right? And he ended up saying, or Vedal ended up saying on a post here saying, Kiri needs to postpone stream tomorrow. She cut her finger just now while live, and I'm told half her thumb is hanging on to dear life. Stay tuned for hopefully an additional announcement later today. And obviously this got 1.4 thousand upvotes, and a lot of people saw this post, and a lot of people were extremely worried due to the wording of what was said there. She said, like, obviously Vidal said, I'm told half her thumb is hanging on to dear life. That makes it sound like it's the worst injury ever, and she, almost fully chopped off her thumb, which again, sounds horrific. But obviously a lot of people, especially the comments and stuff, have been finding out that essentially it was a little bit of an exaggeration. Now, again, that might be just due to, Vito exaggerating it himself, or maybe, Onigiri told him differently and he thought it was worse than it actually was. And that maybe she told him it was like worse than it actually was, which of course, would obviously relay the information to us. That it was worse than it actually was, right? Because if you can see on stream, this is after the fact of her cutting her thumb, right? You can see it doesn't look, terrible at all. It just seems that she kind of cut the top half, like up here. So again, that's just kind of the main thing, just like above the nail, right? With that big like knife thing there, and that's about it, right? She ended up, she ended stream, and I'm pretty sure went to the doctors just to check. Obviously, this isn't her actual thumb that got cut. This is her other one, but she's just kind of explaining that it just kind of went down there, which obviously isn't great, right? But it seems like Onigiri does have a little bit of an update of what has happened, what is going on, and what is happening with the Neuro Sama stream as well. Because obviously, as I said, she was supposed to have this collaboration with Neuro Sama, and well, it ended up not happening due to this. But she puts out this announcement here saying Onigiri announced about the Neuro collab. Has rescheduled next Thursdays in this next week. What the hell? Am I the only one that's reading that? Okay. But so just a small update for those who are who worried. Everything is okay. Apparently, the doctor says that the cut is a little bit deeper than it looks, but nothing detrimental. But I should rest and not get it wet. And I have a follow-up tomorrow just to make sure that everything is healing okay. The Neuro collab instead has been rescheduled for next Thursday. So we'll still have more fun things to look forward to next week. So yeah, again, I think the biggest issue or the biggest concern that people really had was the fact of it getting like infected or something like that. I think that is really the biggest, concern for something like this. Because as you said, she didn't like chop her finger off or anything like that. Like it wasn't like to that level of, badness, but she did, get it pretty deep, right? And that obviously allows bacteria and stuff to potentially get in there, right? So that is something that obviously the doctor wanted to prevent, and she can't get it wet or anything like that because obviously that can potentially get it infected and things like that. So obviously that means that potentially obviously no cooking streams or anything like that, because obviously you're working with stuff like peppers, which are inherently wet, sometimes water, and a bunch of wet things essentially, right? Unless you're cooking something like extremely dry. So you can see there's a lot of wetness all over this board. I don't know if that's the right word to say. So again, obviously, cooking streams probably won't be the best idea to do while it is still in that state, right? But obviously, a lot of people have been responding to this, in terms of, Vidal's announcement and whatever. Saying, I thought her thumb was just hanging on by the skin of her hand reading Vidal's announcement. Bro didn't have to scare me like that. So you can look at the clip. There's no blood visible. And she shows how bad it is by using her other hand. It didn't really seem that bad from her description, but it was a pretty sharp blade, so it's good that she takes it seriously. So yeah, better safe than sorry. My finger sliced open by opening a can of cat food wrong. A good thing she didn't have to get stitches. Said, I've read Vidal's announcement about what happened. Giri is such an amazing person. Even with her arm barely hanging on by a thread, she managed to send us an announcement about her collab with Neuro. Oh god, this is going to become a joke in the swarm, isn't it? I can already tell it's going to become an inside joke with like all the swarm members. Just like being like, God, I can't believe Giri managed to show up to stream today. I'm so happy that she managed to do it, even if her arm was hanging on by a thread. Oh, you know, it's just so great to see. That's quite funny. You know, so yeah, it's really inspiring how even with no arms, one leg, and no face, she was still able to reschedule collab to next Thursday in this next week. So why is it next Thursday's plural though? So maybe there are two of them. Can confirm there is more than one Thursday. That's funny. So well, it's been a while since we've seen her in the Neuroverse. So yeah, obviously, again, I don't know when the last time they did was a collab. I don't know when the last time they did a collab was. But yeah, obviously some people haven't seen them in a while, I guess. But yeah, I mean, a lot of people have been talking about it in the Neuro Sama space though, due to this announcement from Vedal. As I said, it's either just a, you know, overreaction or over exaggeration of what has happened. Either, you know, from Onigiri telling him like it was bad, you know, more how would you say it? More worse than they thought. Which again, you know, could be the case. Or it could just be a classic, you know, kind of British thing. This kind of what British people do a lot of the time. They kind of oversimplify stuff, or just like make it, you know, so simple that it sounds like it's worse than it actually is. That is definitely a common thing. So my kind of idea is pointing towards that. But of course, it did send a lot of Neuro Sama fans into kind of like mass panic of what was going on. Everyone was looking up the stream, and yeah, whenever you look at the stream itself, it's fine, right? They're like, she's still walking around, as I said, you know, she still streams like an extra like 10 minutes afterwards. Obviously just walking around and looking at it. There's no like visible blood or anything like that. As obviously if there was, then the stream would have been taken down and the VOD would have been taken down and she might have been banned, right? But again, that wouldn't, you know, she hasn't. So that just kind of tells you exactly, you know, what went on. But again, as I said, always just, you know, the moral of this is, be careful with what you're cutting, especially on stream. You know, just take, you know, look at what you're cutting. don't cut your thumb. And of course, as well, you know, just kind of don't exaggerate things like this because, of course, people are gonna freak out. I mean, the amount of people that I saw freaking out over this was crazy. Like, people were like genuinely worried and scared for like, you know, Onigiri, wondering if she would ever be able to cook again because, God forbid, you know, she loses her thumb or something, she can't cut with a knife ever again. No, of course that didn't happen. But yeah, I mean, good to see that she's doing okay. Hopefully things end up going all well next week with the Neuro collab. And yeah, I mean, that's essentially all there is for an update on that situation. But yeah, if you guys did enjoy this video, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Also, go to GameSubs, use my code Kaza, get 10% off. Again, they've got a ton of really cool stuff over there. Definitely recommend checking it out. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. That's all. See ya.